So, before we start, I would like you guys to know I just got out of Sound of Freedom. Before I went and saw this movie, I watched a couple of interviews. One with Polly from Latino Slat. He interviewed the main antagonist, well, one of the main antagonists in the movie. And he said that the children were given a separate script. He said they didn't know what the movie was really about and that their families were on set the entire time. In a separate interview with Tim Cass, there was Tim Ballard, who the movie is about, along with the director of the movie, which I'm sorry I cannot pronounce his name. But the movie itself, Sound of Freedom, is a phenomenal movie. Very heavy, not for the faint of heart. I can actually think of people in my personal life that I would not take to see this movie. But I can also think of a ton of people that need to see it. It is a phenomenal movie. Is it perfect? No. But it is the first Hollywood movie that I can think of in a long time where I've actually felt something, where the audience has actually felt something. I can hear people crying around me when I was sitting in the theater. Let me tell you about this theater, okay? The theater, I went to the premiere of Indiana Jones. I went to the premiere of Elemental. I went to the premiere of Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, Guardian Galaxy was premiere weekend. And I went to when they released Transformers, the new one, at my theater. It was late, but I went to that first night too. You take all the audiences from those movies and put them together, equaled the amount of audience I had to see that movie. Was it packed full? No, but it was pretty close. And at the end of that movie, despite all the crying, despite all the gas, at the end of the movie, people stood up and cheered and gave it a standing ovation. I have never seen that in a movie before. I'm being honest. I've seen it where like one or two will cheer, but not an entire movie theater. It is good. In fact, I have to warn you, they do show footage of the actual events. They show footage of the raid in the end credits, and they do show footage of kids being kidnapped in the movie. Real, raw footage. In fact, when I was watching the end credits, I recognized one of the rooms of the footage that they were showing. Turns out I've seen that room before. It was bugging me while I was watching the raids because I felt like I had seen that before. And then I remembered. 6 years ago, Peter Hollins did a rendition of Scars to Your Beautiful. He actually used the same footage because he did a thing with Operation Underground Railroad. 6 years ago, the same footage from this movie. Now, keep that in mind, because everybody's saying that this movie is some sort of right-wing conspiracy or some sort of Q something. I'm not entirely sure, but in all honesty, I kind of don't want to know. But that stuff wasn't even aware in the public till about 3 years ago. Peter Hollins did his music video 6 years ago. That right there debunks any of that garbage being thrown at this movie. But anyway, it's fascinating, exciting movie. It's a hardcore detective movie. You follow the investigation, so it's not as much action as the trailers make it seem. But just keep in mind, they were very respectful towards the kids. Very respectful towards the kids. it is a must see.